Hi beautiful soul, I hope you are okay. So this is a part 1 hour 2 video because the experiments took a really long time and a couple of days to do, so the hours of the recording are very long, so I'm trying to cut it down and make it as simple as well enjoyable. So anyways, in this video I have tested 38 different types of water, including tap waters and cartridge filter. So in this part I'll be showing the ideal great balanced water, so basically the whole conclusion, which you might want to consume less or avoid, or you'll be perfect ideal drinking water. And I will definitely give the credit to the scientists for the hard work, because I was actually pulling my hair out during this experiment. I've been going around local shops in the high street to collect all the different brands of water, you name it. I've been to Greggs, to Boots, Asian stores and many more. I didn't collect the water in one day, I did it throughout my times. Oh, and I forgot to mention, my part 2 video is just going to be basically me doing the experiment, testing the water and recording the results of each brand. And now I'll be reading you a little bit about acidic and alkalis, and I'll show you what type of equipment I'll be using to test the water. Acid water has a pH of less than 7. Refers to amount of hydrogens mixed in a water. pH measure on a scale of from 0 to 14. 7 represent neutral, where the water is neither alkalis or acidic. 0 through the 7 indicate acidity. The lower the number, the higher the acidity. 7 through 14 indicate alkalinity. The higher the number, the higher the alkalinity. Like a Richter scale for measuring the earthquake, the sensitivity of the pH scale is logarithmic. A solution with a pH of 8.0 is 10 times more alkalis than the solution with a pH of 7.0. A solution with a pH of 9.0 is 100 times more than alkalis than a solution with a pH of 7.0. Although there are many beneficial, using acidic water is neutral estrogen. For washing your face, it can cause dry and itchy skin. It can expedite the healing of the skin problems. It can kill bacteria when it washing products, etc. A low pH, less than 6.5, can weaken hardwood in your home. The corrosive natures of acid water cause metals such as iron, magnesium, copper, lead, zinc to lead into the water, causing elevated levels of toxic metals in your water. Signs of acidic water are corrosions of fixtures, blue stains from copper. And this is the pH drops that I will be using in the experiments, which will tell me if the water is acidic or alkalized. And also in the box it comes with the pH chart colors. It will tell you what each colors mean. And this is how I use the pH drops for each brand that I will be testing. I use 3 drops at least, and I use brand new each time toothpicks, and to stir that until the color sets, and I will give you the set results, and then I'll throw that away. For example, this color shows is number 7, which is neutral, which is an ideal balanced drinking water. And this is the pH pen I'll be using to test the pH level in the water. This is a part for million pens I will be using, and we will show you how much the particles are in the water. And this is the chart, so back of the pen, so will show you the level of the particles. And every bottle I've tested, I've always cleaned each pens with the distilled water, so that stops for any cross contaminations. Test with the pH drops, which is what will see the colors if it's alkalis or acidic. That's what makes these. And it comes with the chart, so we'll see what's acidic, neutral or alkalized. And then on my label it says pH pen, which is this one. So the pH level, we'll see if it's match the bottle what it says. And then I have my parts per million, which is like will test the amount of molecules and like your bits and bobs that's actually in the water. So here we go. We'll start with Valet. Bottle says 7. Pen, my pen says recorded at 782. Parts per million is really low, which is good. It's ideal drinking water. There we go. And magnesium, it says on the bottle, is quite not super high, but potassium is very high, which is not really what you want, because the potassium should be low. Like for example, like this one, like it should be low. It should be, the magnesium should be higher and the potassium should be lower. So it's up to you if you want to drink that one, but it's okay. It's okay. We have Marks and Spencer Still Mountain Water from Scotland. Bottle says 7.4. Pen recorded at 790. 66 parts per million, which is great. Magnesium, great. High. Potassium's low, really good. So go for that one. Highland. So its bottle says 7.8. So my pen's are actually quite accurate, so the record is quite similar. Parts per million is a little bit more than the Marks and Spencer's, which is okay. It's still in the margin. And magnesium is a lot. So there's a very, so this one's quite good, really good. And is alkalized, so it's between an 8.5, that one. Nestle, so everyone's high street blonde. So spot says 7.8, mine says 790. It's quite accurate. It's in between. Parts per million is very low. Magnesium's high. Potassium's a little bit high, but that's still good because it's quite a high potassium. But yeah, Nestle good to go, guys. Prince Gate. So Prince Gate's is marked at 6.2. My pen says 7.85 parts per millions. Yeah, again, it's still in between the margin there. Magnesium's quite a lot in that one, and potassium is great. This is what you want. So you want a quite high magnesium and low potassium, like between 1 or 0. Oh no, sorry, a 1 or like a 2 would be great. So, and that one's quite alkali, so it's like about an 8, I would say. So it's healthy. Yep. So it's got Helm Spring. This one's from Iceland. I got from Iceland, this one. Yeah, I forgot to say, Princess Gate, you can actually get them from Morrison's or Asda. Well, I've seen them. This is what I got them from. So the bottle says 7. My pen's recorded at 7.82. Parts per million is very low, very good, very clean to drink, ideal to drink. Magnesium's very high, higher than Princess Gate. Potassium, yeah, not too bad, 2.5. So that's quite good balance as well. And we have the crystalline, which is I got this from B&M, but the pH is not printed on a bottle. I'm not sure why, I don't know. I got it in a 6-pack. My pen's tested at 7.82. Parts per million is very low, which is great. It's similar to the Elm Spring. Sorry, my accent. Magnesium is quite high. Potassium is very same as the Elm Spring, which is okay. It's not too bad, not too bad. Kirkland Signature Spring Water. I got this from the Asian supermarket, so you know, like your local Asian shops. Yeah, again, pH not printed on the bottle. My pen's recorded at 7.82. Parts per million still in the margins of 100, which is quite ideal to drink. Magnesium's high. Potassium's 2.5, which is the same, looks the same as them. So yeah, that's quite good to drink. And yet again, is quite alkalized, so it's you're fine between an 8 and a 7. So it's ideal, is quite safe and good, balanced between an 8 and a 7. Sorry, I have actually forgot to show you the colors of these ones here. So that one is really alkalized, Highland. So that's about like a 9, going to a 9. Which is alkalized. Is quite high, but the imbalance with that one is like got high magnesium. So I put all these brands in a good safe to drink aisle. So moving on. We've got the Aqua Val, which is from Aldi. Bottle printed at 7.8. My pen recorded at 7.90. And yet again, parts per millions is still in the 100 margin. And magnesium is quite high, which is the same really with all these 4 bottles. Is quite the same with potassium. Moving on. So we've got the one, it says switch waters charge live, but I actually read this is actually from a spring, which is let me see, I read it somewhere, Staffordshire. This is Staffordshire. Let me see. Yeah, so I've got this one from Starbucks. Well, to be fair, I'm really shocked with the Starbucks because I've heard rumours is fluoride water or whatever, I don't know. But is science in it, so I've proved it and tested it. So the bottle says neutral. My pen's test is in between that as well, going towards alkalized. My parts per million is quite a little bit higher than that one, but yeah, it's still in the margin. We want to stay in between at least 100 and 150, which is great because you don't want too much molecular particles in your water. Magnesium is quite high and potassium is low, which is great balance. So that's your Starbucks water and is very deep alkalized. So I would say that's between an 8.5 going towards 9. Yeah. So this one, we have Asda Smart Water. This actually is from Chase Spring. So I'm really surprised because that was like 17p. So I don't know if it's tap water or not, but my pen's recorded at this, and part per million is between 100 and it's got loads of magnesium and low potassium, which is to balance that out. So I don't know, it's up to you, but I'm putting this in this category because it's got a good result. So do your own research, guys, so it's up to you. Moving on, so this is Essentials, Everyday Essentials Still Spring Water. This one is from Aldi, and bottles printed at 7.8, and yet again my pen is very similar reading, and parts per million yet again is 100 margin. Magnesium is quite similar to that one. So yeah, yet again it's quite alkalized, so that's between like an 8.5, that one. This one is Shashka natural mineral water. I'm just gonna go with that because you can read it. This one is from your Lidl. Bottle says 7.8. My pen's recorded quite similar to the what bottle says, a little bit higher. Parts per million yet again is still within the 100 margin, and magnesium's a lot on that one, and potassium 3 is still in a balance mode, which is quite a
good drink to go with that one if you want. Yeah, again, we have an Asda still mineral water. So what's between this one and that one? I actually researched it up, saying this one is 17p, this one is 45p. It's actually from a spring. So yeah, it's different postcode, and that's one's from Staffordshire as well. So it's recorded very accurate. Parts per million is in yet again is still in 100 margin. 14 magnesium very high, potassium's quite imbalanced with it, so it's similar to that one. So yeah. And we have the Breacon's Carrick. So this one's from Boots. So the bottle's printed at 7.6. My pen's recorded at 782 parts per million. It's going towards 150, which is okay. It's a little bit high, but it's got loads of magnesium in this one and very low potassium, which is great balance. Really great balance. So I would assume this is just like basically like particle, like, you know, like your rocks and stuff that's been in the stream. So yeah, that one's really great, I say. So this one we have Greg's, which is really interesting. That is in this aisle of ideal drinking water. 7.6 it says. My pen recorded at 7.8, which is very similar to going towards alkali, so like a number 8. So it's like the drops actually shows you is very similar to my pen test. Parts per million is really similar to the Brecon, yeah. Very same magnesium and 0.5 potassium, and yeah, again, it's actually the same spring. If you read the label, like right there, it says it there. It says it there. It's actually from the same spring, which is very nice. This one is your Still Scottish Mountain Water by Sainsbury's. Bottles printed at 7.4. My pen's recorded at 7.9. Parts per million is very low, which is great. Magnesium is super high, and your potassium is 2.0, which is great balance. So that's great to go. Your Harroga's water, I love the bottles, glass bottle, which is your most probably well-known water, and printed says the bottles number 7. My pen's recorded at 7.5, which is very similar. Parts per million is a little bit high comparing to the Scottish one, but magnesium is at 19, which is great. There's a lot of magnesium in that one, and there's no potassium in there, which is probably, I would say, it's ideal to have at least a 1 potassium or a 0.5 potassium. But it doesn't really matter if there's no potassium, but you can get it from another source of your diet. So I say this is great, ideal to drink as well, your Harrogate water. And we have your Buxton, which is, I got it from Tesco or just any high street brand. It's actually at 7.4, and my pen recorded at 7.8. 7.90, and parts per million is quite high, going towards 200 margin, which is like your tap water in margin, but I'm not saying that's your tap water because it's from the stream. So magnesium is very same as a Harrogate. Potassium, yeah, again, it's got potassium in there, which is great. It's ideal to drink, and it's alkali, just staying on a number 8. We have Evian, very very high in magnesium. So here we go. Your bottle says 7.2, my pen's recorded at 782 parts per million. Is quite high. It's at 200, which is from the mountain, and it's been floated down to the stream, and that's probably picking up loads of particles, molecules, and magnesium is super high, which is like what's in the snow. What's in the snow, or what's picks up when it actually come down from the stream. So it's actually really super high. So that's like your most strong highest magnesium. So, but I actually researched Evian, and it's actually quite safe to drink. And I've mentioned it to a few people, like, oh yeah, probably it's not great, ideal for you, blah blah. That's because I was still reading the results from back in the days when there's actually something happened to the water, so loads of celebrities think it was contaminated. That's why people didn't want to drink it, but they actually probably everything, it's been like 15 nearly 20 years now, so everything must have changed within the mother nature. So yeah, Evian is your strongest comparisons to every brand here. So yeah, that's all your ideal great balance to drink, guys. So on to the not ideal drinking water. Not great balanced between magnesium and potassium at all, and there's quite a lot of molecules and particles in your water. So I put this in a group. So there's great balance group and not ideal drinking group. So basically this is what I'm going for with it. So I did exactly the same test, use my pH drops, which is make the colours, and then I have my parts per millions pen, pH pen, and obviously this is the chart for the drops. So here we go. So filtered water from your cartridge, my tap water, this is my tap water from my fridge basically, and my pen recorded at 5.15, and my parts millions are at 74, which is low, which is great, fine. Basically it's taken everything out of it, and basically it's made it acidic. So there you go, that's like a 4 pretty much. So I probably wouldn't consume this too much all the time, even though it's clean. I know there's everything's taken out of it, but it's very acidic, so I would just maybe avoid consuming it all the time. Tap water, and this is my tap water, local from Leeds. I live in Leeds, so, and my pen's recorded at 7.10 parts per millions. Yet again, it's quite low, but obviously everyone's, you know, heard about, you know, there's a lot of stuff in the tap water, such as fluoride, copper, iron, zinc, and stuff like that. So it's up to you if you still want to carry on drinking tap water, but I wouldn't recommend, because that's just my personal opinion. Okay. And we have your Smart Water, which is quite a high street brand. Everyone know about that one. And as you can see, the colour is a very acidic. So I would say that's like a strong, like a 6 or 6.7. But yeah, again, it's quite acidic water, because there's no mineral or potassium in that one at all. And we have your Carricklen Active spring water. I got this one from Lidl actually. The bottle says 7.8. My pen's recorded at 830. Parts per million is very high. So going towards number 300 margins. So it's like it's going towards like contaminated, but it's not contaminated, it's just got loads of particles, minerals in the water. And magnesium is literally so low, and potassium is higher than magnesium, which is not ideal to drink at all, because magnesium should be more than potassium. And moving on, so we have the rocks, white rocks. I got this from Iceland, guys, Iceland. And bottles printed at 7.5. My pen's recorded at 7.90 parts per million. Yeah, again, going towards the 300 margins. Got quite a bit of stuff in there. And yeah, again, magnesium's low. Potassium is bang on the same as magnesium. So I probably wouldn't want to drink that because it's just not great balanced. And we have your vols, yeah, that's how you say it. So the bottle's printed at 6. My pen's at 7.18. Parts per million is 3, which is there's hardly any particles in there at all. So, and there's got 1 magnesium and no potassium printed on that one. So I'm just guessing is either a distilled water or some sort of type of thing, but because it's got the same reading as a distilled, because I've tested it, why is this so low? But it's really not ideal to drink, guys, because it's very acidic. So that's like a 6 or a 5, between them two, as you can see. Moving on, so we have your simply still water, and I got this from Lidl aisle. So printed at 7.5. My pen's at 814 particles. Parts per millions is at 270, which is going towards 300 margin, and 1 magnesium, 1 potassium. So I don't think that's a great balance. So I probably think that's just water. Maybe, I don't know. Don't get me wrong. So I don't think that's a great balance to drink. Ice Valet. I got this one from B&M. The bottle printed at 7.5. My pen's recorded 7.90. Yeah, again, parts per millions is still going towards the 300 margin. And magnesium's super low. Yeah, again, potassium's low again. It's just not a great balanced drink. So, and it's alkalized, which is okay. It's good. It's alkalized. So I think I'm saying that's an 8. But it's just got not a lot of magnesium in them, and it's just got loads of particles, molecule in your water. So I don't know. It's up to you. So we have your Carrick Glen still water. I got this from Lidl again. 7.5 says. pH pen says 7.98. Yeah, again, it's still parts per million. It's going towards 250 to margin. And magnesium, yeah, is super low. Potassium super low. So I don't think that's great balance at all. It's up to you. And we have the pouch H2O filtered water. I got this from B&M actually. So obviously, yet it looks very fancy. It's got a little clip on it, and as you can see, is a very acidic. So that's I'm gonna say that's like a 6 or a 5, right? So obviously pH not printed, pH pen recorded at 7.2, parts per million is very low, magnesium, potassium not printed, so I'm not sure what that source is. I've not researched it, so if you want to look into that you can do, but because I have so much stuff going on, so I ain't got time to research. So but I would ideally avoid that one. It's not great balanced. So we have the just water. Excuse my pen there. I've just kind of like scrub it on. Anyway, so we have, the bottle says 7.82, which is quite accurate to my pen. It's very similar reading. Parts per millions actually very low, but the magnesium is very low. Because I would love for that. I would love for these numbers to have magnesium more higher, because that should be perfect, but it's not. So it's not great balanced, I don't think, at all. So moving on, and we have the Surictok Spring, bottles printed at 806, pens pointed at 790, parts per million's low, magnesium's so low and potassium's too high. That is not great balanced at all. That's not balanced. Magnesium should be more than potassium. Moving on. Celtic Spring. Got this from Iceland. Bottles printed as 7.85. My pen's recorded at 7.98. Parts per million's quite low. Magnesium's low. So I don't. It's probably safe to drink, but it's just not great balance. It's not high in magnesium, so I would say that's okay. That's okay. We have your Spa Silverbrooks Falls, which is 7.93 bottles printed, pH printed at 7.42, which is lower than what the bottle printed. Particles, part per million at between 100. So but magnesium is like low, but potassium's quite high to balance that out, so I don't think that's a great balanced. And we have your Bolligowang. Yeah, well, you can just see what it says. I got actually this from KFC, but you can get it from Fulton's Farm Food. And bottle says 7.2, and my pH printed at 7.66. Part per million is really high. Magnesium's high, potassium's 3. The only thing why I've put this in this category is because the parts per million is quite high and is super alkalized. So that's like a 9. So it's like a 9. So you don't want too much alkalis, guys. You want it to stay between 7 or an 8. Mostly 7, but an 8 is fine. But like not going towards 9 or 10. That's a 9. So that's why I put this one in this category. And we have your Co-ops. Co-op Still Mineral Water, 7.6. 7.82, part per million is 198, which is going towards 200. So magnesium's 9.3. Potassium's so high with that one. It should be a little bit low. It should be great if they've got a little bit low potassium in that one, but it's not great balanced. It's too much potassium. This one we have your Morrison Savers Still Water. So it's not printed, so I'm assuming it's tap water. I'm just looking at the other big bottles that's just like this type of labels is quite a similar. and parts per million is quite high. Yeah, again, no magnesium or potassium, so I am saying this is tap water because it's 17p, and I have researched that most bottles 17p is tap water, but I would say you do your own research. But I have researched that many articles have said 17 bottles, big bottles of high street brand supermarkets is actually tap water. So there we go, guys. So that's all of your really not great balanced water. So I would suggest to not drink it. But if you are drinking it, I wouldn't consume it for such a long period of time because it will cause you inflammations and give you itchy, dry skin. So thank you for watching so much, guys, and I hope this has given you a lot of knowledge and a lot of open eye to what to look out for. But the thing I would say is read the label. Read the label. The more magnesium, low potassium is the great. And see where the water is coming from, because all bottled water should be printed where it's coming from. Thank you. Reading the bottle labels. So this is actually Abbey Wells spring water. I got this from actually motorway service on a motorway. So this one's got magnesium quite high, potassium's at 4.8. Yeah, great balance with that one, but it has fluoride in it. Yeah, pH, it has pretty much alkalis. So basically I probably avoid to drink this water, even though it's only got a 0.16 fluoride. But yeah, again, do you know what I mean? I would just definitely still avoid fluoride because it's blocked your pineal gland, and what gives your psychic abilities powers to be a superhuman. So anyways, that's just a clear example of reading your labels, guys. So that would be great. This is exactly the reason why I've done this experiment, just to see how balanced each water, how different type of water can really change your life.